Disappointment. This is the vibe that surrounds 1.19, the Wild update, and arguably the Caves and Cliffs as well. And it's not like they are bad updates, far from it. Both Caves and Cliffs updates combined are likely the biggest improvement Minecraft has ever received. And we should be grateful for receiving free updates for a 12-year-old game in the first place. We'll come back to this point later. But this feeling of dissatisfaction is also valid. For 2 years at this point, we've been looking forward to something in the distant future instead of getting excited for what is about to come out tomorrow. Let me explain. According to Minecon 2020, the Caves and Cliffs update has consisted of 4 parts: the terrain overhaul, the deep dark, archaeology, and the rest. Things which are there to support the big 3. With 1.17 we only have got the rest. No terrain overhaul, no deep dark, no archaeology. And while it was a decent update in the vacuum, people were looking forward to the big things. And also, it has been a year since the last update, which broke the Mojang proclaimed cycle of 2 updates per year. By the time 1.18 was around the corner, Caves and Cliffs weren't new anymore. So, Minecon 2021 was the time to announce something new and exciting and deliver it in a few months while the hype was fresh. And that didn't happen. Nothing big and new was announced, and it took 6 extra months to deliver what is essentially the leftovers from the previous announcements for the most part. And there are still things in the backlog. And meanwhile, the community has its own wishlist. The inventory update, the combat update, the end update, these aspects need an improvement, with each requiring its own major update. And as long as Mojang are busy with delivering features promised years ago, they have no time to work on those. And when it became clear that Caves and Cliffs will take Mojang forever, it also became clear that we have to wait for our wishlist to get fulfilled forever. To summarize, the features announced at Minecon 2020 were considered old news, a given by the time of arrival, simply due to how long it took. And when the Deep Dark finally arrived, it was met not with excitement, but with, oh yeah, it's finally here. Meanwhile, the issues with inventory and combat are still unaddressed. Also, 1.19 wasn't a big update. So you would naturally expect 1.20 to be a big one, since most of the promised features are finally here. But there is only 6 months left, and there is archaeology in the backlog. There is simply no time left in 2022 to deliver something as big as archaeology, especially combined with the combat update, let's say. And meanwhile, the Disc 5 from Ancient Cities heavily hints at a brand new type of portal. Will that be a new dimension? Or perhaps the end update? But if that's the case, we'll have to wait for an additional year, and it will leave no time for improving the inventory or the combat. At this point, to have the community request fulfilled, we would have to wait until 2024, or even longer, given that Mojang have their own plans and ideas. And if anything, the combat requires an excessively large update for the reasons I'll explain in my future video. As evidence, we can take a look at Vault Hunters, a mod pack focused on combat and PvE specifically. It's 2 years in the making and counting. It's not to imply that Mojang are lazy or slow or incompetent. Far from it. I believe they are doing their best and hardest. It's just that the Caves and Cliffs update was way too big all along. And people have asked for the cave update. Minecraft needed it. The end result was worth it. Would the community be more accepting if we would know from the start that it would take 2 years? Would Mojang make this update if they would know it would take 2 years? And while it was worth it in the end, would the overall community happiness be higher if Mojang would have chosen to make smaller updates instead of Caves and Cliffs? Updates which would fit into a 6-month schedule. And the dilemma continues. Should 1.20 be a small update so that it could be released the same year as 1.19? If so, it's too small to be the end update or the combat update, or the archaeology update. It is going to be yet another backlog cleanup then. Will the community be excited? Probably not, because we've been waiting for new major announcements for 2 years at this point. Should the update take 6 months extra, get released in summer 2023, and indeed be the end update, then we'll have a whole year without an update, which isn't nice given that 1.19 wasn't received well. There is a couple of issues Mojang have promised to address in the future, but we've been waiting for the future for 2 years at this point. And Mojang be like that sometimes. Shulker farming. It took Mojang 4 years to implement a way to farm shulkers, while the community had a solid concept from the start. Maybe Mojang's mechanic is more original than what the community has suggested. But is it 4 years of waiting better? Is it even better at all? There are arguments to be made that it's not. Movable containers. The community implementation of movable block entities has existed for years. It has been tested beyond anything. It works, it's good, it's reliable. Movable containers is vanilla, proven by the Bedrock edition. Why won't Mojang add it already? Well, a Mojang dev has said that it might interfere with the future plans. What future plans? We could have been playing with movable containers for years at this point. Years of redstone fun worth more than whatever feature you can come up with that would be incompatible with movable containers. Or give us that feature now, so that it wouldn't be wasted potential on either of the options. So, what's the solution? I don't think there is one. People want updates on a 6-month schedule, and anything longer than that is considered too slow. But you need more than 6 months to make an update like Caves and Cliffs. And an intermediary update is not a solution, because the very same people who were supposed to be developing the big update are now developing the intermediary update. There is a backlog of promised features, and there is technical debt to be paid. That alone could take a whole year without any new features. But in the end, let's appreciate that we have free updates in the first place. It's better to count days since the last combat snapshot than days since the last major update.